It's not that kind of video. The toe fetish video. It's a plant fetish video.
Yeah.
Looks like the pycnanthemum is just starting to bloom. You could see the honeybees on it. Beautiful. I love that silver of that leaf. Let's see what else is blooming. Hydrangea in bloom. So this is our native hydrangea here. This is Hydrangea corkifolia. Corkifolia means a leaf like an oak. You want to head to Faraday because it's just like a couple blocks away. So this is the Faraday store. It's super cute. They moved here, I don't know, a couple years ago. And this was founded by twin brothers who really love outdoor adventure. They love surfing. So it's got that airy kind of coastal beach vibe, which I absolutely love. And they work with like really great materials like linens, organic cottons, and I've been living in linens this summer. What they have and see if I could pick up a couple more looks. I love these little Monstera prints right here. I'm getting a shirt just like this. I wonder who the plant person is. Could it be here or here? All right, so we just made it to Jamaica, New York.
Yes.
And we had seen each other in the past, but I'd never seen your space.
I know, because when you met me, I was living in my mom's basement.
Yeah.
So my whole jungle was in the corner of my 600 square foot basement.
So then you really learned how to grow plants
indoors
with
grow lights.
No natural light.
Never.
Although you have a little bit of natural
just
light,
a tad, but not
tad.
enough.
Yeah.
So I started my jungle in law school in St. Louis. So I was the type to collect a whole bunch of random plants. And of course, like I put my Alocasia poly on top of a dark bookshelf and it died. And so I was like, what's going on? And then I had a plant that I bought from IKEA that I didn't think was real. And then it kept falling over and I'm like, what's going on? And it turns out to be a real plant.
Now look at her.
Yes, and now it's spiraled to this. And like, I would have never imagined that this is where I would be, but now I don't see myself ever living without plants. These plants have moved with me 5 times.
Oh my gosh, God bless you.
They've moved across to Texas. They came back from Texas. They moved to my mom's house. They lived outside. They've been everywhere. So I feel like this is their final resting place, at least for another few years.
Yeah. Okay, so I feel like you're an expert not only in growing under lights, but also just smashing all the plants together in like one place.
Yeah.
It's kind of like not a green wall, but it is a green wall.
Yeah.
It's like a tiered green shelf that mimics a green wall.
Exactly, yes. So these are some shelves that I got from an estate sale. They're actually just bookshelves, but I removed a lot of the shelves to give us that like height.
Yeah.
And then the top here, these are mostly aeroids that don't fit on the aeroid wall.
I see, okay.
So you'll notice a lot of hybrids because I'm really into philodendrons. You'll notice some species, like this is our philodendron patricii, or is that how you pronounce it? Patricii?
Patricii?
Yes.
Is this a Joepii?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
This one was in my office at work, and then when I knew I was going on maternity leave, I had to bring it home because I didn't want it to die, and it's since exploded with growth. I don't know what I'm going to do once these obviously
hit the ceiling.
Hit the ceiling.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to probably cut or propagate or do the.
But I'm like infamous for not chopping my plants.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I always say that I'm a little conflicted with it, because you want to see them like flush
fully
out.
mature. Yeah. So like this tortum. I got this. These are the original leaves that I bought it with. These tiny little plants, and it's since grown into this massive specimen. And you'll notice these tubes.
Yep.
So everyone has a hard time watering their moss poles. So I actually have an irrigation system hooked up throughout this top section, and I have like 3 other irrigation systems. So I just fill a gallon of water, which you'll see here.
Yeah, I see the gallon of water in the back.
And then I turn on my little system and I let that run for like
and so that basically is a pump that pumps the water through?
All throughout the moss poles.
Wow, that's pretty clever.
I've had to do that because obviously, I'm an attorney. I work a lot, so I don't have time to bring all my plants to the sink or to the shower.
And even then, just trying to move them. Especially because I see you have Hoyas and they have a tendency to tendril. Although I see that you have done pretty good with like tendriling them together and keeping like little pins.
Yeah, but for the most part, they don't move. I don't move them to water them. Everyone has, a little cachet pot, and I water most of my plants in place. Only like the small ones that might need some time to soak up some water, I have like a little tray that I put them in. But for the most part, everyone stays in place. I don't water at the sink.
This is a huge, what is this one?
This is a Hoya latifolia Mount Rayne. And I just got this not that long ago from Unsolicited Plant Talk. So she sent this to me as a gift.
Wow, that is a massive leaf.
I can't believe the size of it.
It is like a dinosaur leaf.
It's like the size of my face.
Yeah.
So it's just a cutting, so I'm hoping it roots. I'll give you an update on that one if it does.
Yeah.
But so far so good. It's still firm, and that's usually how I can tell if it's happy.
Now, tell me a bit about your light setup, because you have lights here.
Yeah.
Then you also have lights under the shelf.
Yes. So this is actually a DIY track light. So I'm sure you're familiar with the Soul Tags and the Russo.
Yeah.
And I do have a Russo, but this is a really long shelf, and I can't, I didn't want to buy too expensive track light.
Right.
So this is just something I rigged together from Amazon. So I bought the track, the actual light fixtures, and the bulbs are all purchased separately.
Right.
And but I think the problem I'm running into now is that these Sansi bulbs are a little too bright.
Well, and then you're going to burn some of the leaves.
I'm burning
the leaves
some
don't know any different.
Yeah,
You know?
So you'll see some yellowing happening here.
Yeah.
So I'll probably need to move it back just a little bit, but it's kind of a pain in the butt.
It's too bad they don't have like a filter for it. The same way that you have a greenhouse filter.
Yes.
But then the filter, I would imagine, can get really hot as well.
Yes.
I'll just want to say the temperature in here is balmy. It's like a balmy 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you see us start to sweat.
It's the heat from these.
It's either the heat or the fact that we're getting really excited about the plants.
So you don't have any heating bills in the winter other than
no heating bill,
just
but
electric.
A good electricity
Heat
bill.
also rises too, so whatever you're on the second floor, you're getting like the heat from the first.
Right, it's terrible. So I actually did the math on my lights to see how much I use
I don't
on my
pay for
light
the heating,
bill.
but the electric bill
Is high. It's like around $50-$60 a month added on my bill.
I feel that's normal.
It's not too bad.
That's norm.
Yeah, and then these lights here, these are T5 lights. So I used to have much brighter lights, but because I used to have a plant room, so it didn't really matter how bright my lights were because no one lived there. But because now my plants are in my living space, I don't want like an aggressive light. So these T5s, you can see they have the black siding, so you don't see the light from the front.
Yeah, that helps a lot. That is something that we had in Brooklyn, where if I block the light, you're at least not looking at it. Yeah.
Right. And so this is a lower light than what I'm used to having. So this way my leaves for my Hoyas are darker. So less light, darker leaves. More light, you have these, you'll see some Hoyas were grown outdoors, and you can see how pale those leaves are compared to the others.
Why don't you take me through maybe a dozen of plants, maybe some of your favorites or
some
ones that have stories.
Yes. So one of my favorite Hoyas is the Hoya Sarawak. And this is actually just a huge corner of Sarawak. There's 3 Sarawaks
Oh, wow.
here.
Are there any different forms or varieties, or are they just kind of all the same?
I'll show you. Let me take some out so I can show you.
This is where the
I know, this is where things
gamble
get tricky.
happens.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know how many times I drop my plants? It's kind of ridiculous. So this guy here, this was given to me by a friend, but he grew it in super duper bright light, so you can see the difference.
Ah, yeah, look at
In
that.
the texture of
Yeah.
these lower leaves. I haven't been able to imitate his conditions.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see him.
I mean, was he in the same area or region, or is he
No,
growing?
he's in Ohio.
Wow,
And
okay.
he's growing under like garage lights,
Ah.
which are very bright. And
Yeah.
so this right here was like, his whole plant looked like this, but
Yeah.
super silver. But you can see the new leaves.
Are nice
in
and
mine.
fresh.
Exactly.
Fresh and shiny.
Yeah. And then this Sarawak, I'll show you the other Sarawak. This is the biggest one. This guy I got as just a 4-leaf specimen, and it has since exploded into what we see now. And
Wow.
it's taken like, I mean, I've had it for a while. It's been through a little bit of dormancy, but it's taken like maybe 8 months to get to this size.
Wow.
Everyone thinks Hoyas are slow. They're
Yeah.
not that slow. I mean,
Yeah,
not all
if-
of them.
If you give them the right light, you're saying that this is like, and also what I've also noticed is that you don't really concentrate on like the pots. It seems like
No.
this is really, I want it to be about the growth.
Exactly.
And if I'm tiering all these plants, that you can't even see the pots in the back.
Exactly.
Essentially. It's
So
all about the foliage.
I'm a foliage person.
Yeah.
I don't care for ceramic pots. I just do any random nursery pots I can find. The only ones you'll see with ceramic pots
Mm-hmm.
are ones where I need the weight to keep the plant from falling over. So like here I have a ceramic pot, and that's just because without it, this would fall over.
Mm-hmm. It's too heavy,
Yeah.
yeah.
The same with this tortum here. I had to just go buy a quick pot from
Right.
Marshall because it was falling over every 2 seconds and I was afraid to break the leaf. But for the most part, it's just random nursery pots. And if you look at it from a distance, you don't even really see the pots. You just see
you don't.
leaves.
It's leaves, and I think it's an amazing camouflage.
Yeah, that's my favorite Hoya. My other favorite Hoya is the Hoya dinner plate. And this is a relatively new one.
Well, that makes it, that looks like it's small compared to this new one that you got.
compared to that new one. But you'll notice the common string between them all is that they're all latifolia types. Mm-hmm. So I love big leaf Hoyas. I have,
She likes big leaves and she cannot lie.
I love big leaf. I love big leaf Hoyas, huge philodendrons, and I'm always buying the biggest specimen I can find.
Yep.
And then I regret it because I don't have space. So
It looks like you could fill one more shelf space. Your
Right
your kid's
there.
artwork just needs to go.
I know. So I actually, me and my husband, so my husband's not a plant person.
Yeah.
So we have a compromise that as long as I can fit my plants in these 3 sections,
Yeah.
he will not complain. So I'm like,
I
trying
think we may all know maybe somebody out there like you, where you're like, my partner is not a plant person.
no, he's not.
But he's enough that he has obliged. There's a compromise.
He tolerates it.
Yeah.
He tolerates it. So as long as it's not in his way,
Yes.
that's
Okay.
when it works. If we go to the airway section, you'll see here's where they get in his way. So my husband, he's a gamer. He plays FIFA.
But you know what?
So
If he does any Twitch or anything in the back, people would be like, "Great!"
Oh
plants,"
my
like
God.
In the back, you
You
see
see
all
the
the
background.
gamers like with like a
He's
boring white background, and all of a sudden you have
Yeah,
this.
he's like, yeah, welcome to the plant land. Like whenever he has someone come in here, like,
Yeah.
my wife is into plants. And they're like, what is this? But he's always smashing this plant this chair into my plants.
Oh,
and
especially when he's like, gotta get it.
oh my God, it drives me nuts. So I've had to like consolidate everything back in this corner. Yeah, but it doesn't work. He still damages plants here.
So these are like coming off. Like this one is actually way back there.
So this is, first of all, let's talk about what they're standing on. This is a custom plant bench that I had my brother built.
Oh, I could see this. Okay,
Yeah.
It's like a shelfie.
It's a shelfie thing. My brother has built 3 custom shelves for my plants. Everywhere I moved, I have him build something for me because I could never find anything on the market to fit my plants.
Right.
This was built with some 2x4s, and it's a bunch of stuff I bought from Home Depot for like $60.
Which we noticed, we actually have to stop at Home Depot along the way, so I was happy to see that it's kind of on the way.
Yes, we have a lot of Home Depots here, and I frequent them every week.
Yeah.
So
for the plants or
for the plants, for the plants. But one interesting plant I wanted you, obviously you see it, but this is my philodendron McDowell. So you know that McDowells are terrestrial plants. People don't love to have terrestrial plants because they
sprawl
crawl
out,
and you need to have a crawler pot. None of my terrestrial plants live in crawler pots.
They're all grown up.
This McDowell lives in a huge, I think it's like a 16-inch pot. But if you look further, you can see that she's actually climbing. And this isn't something I planned. I planned or that I
using someone else's pole. I see now.
It just did it. And I think the reason why it did that is because it's always been on that back shelf, and I think it kind of realized like, wait, I'm gonna tip over if I keep going in this direction.
Right.
And then one day it just started going upwards. So now I have it so that I have a pole that kind of like keeps it up because I'm afraid the weight will still become too much. But I just put that on here for
it's leaning on its brethren for stability.
Yes. And I got this as a 3-leaf plant last July, and it has since grown to this completely indoors.
Yeah, this is impressive. I mean, I don't know. I hope your husband doesn't run hot, but
well, no, he's used to being hot. I'm the one who runs hot.
Oh, so, you're
so I'm
the sacrificing.
I'm making sacrifice. He doesn't mind the heat. I mind the heat. But you know, this tie, I've had this tie since 2021. And this tie has moved with me 4 times. I left it at my mom's house because the final time I really didn't think I had room for it. So I left it with my mom and she almost killed it. She's like watering it with like a small 16-ounce cup. And I'm like, Mom, this is a 14-inch plant. Like you need to
This is worth more than your life.
I know. It needs a gallon at least to be watered. So I brought it home and like literally within a week it put out a new leaf, and it was like, I'm so happy to be with you, Mom. And now it's working on another leaf. And another exciting plant I want you guys to see. So this is my first ever aeroid, the Vietier. It's the first rare plant I ever purchased.
I noticed you had another one over there. I don't know if it's
I got that one from a friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So this guy, I got this as a 4-inch plant for way too much money in 2020. And then I brought it to Texas, and I'd love for you to get a shot of, I dropped it and broke it. So you can see where it broke just right here. And that was the most horrifying day of my life. But it has since grown to what we see today in less than a year.
Wow.
So I started using, some fish fertilizer, which smells like hell. Yeah. But that has really gotten the leaves to size up. And then you can see her cousin. This is my Alocasia zebrina.
Zebrina, yeah.
Which I got as a small, very small 6-inch plant from Home Depot, and was able to grow it to this in, maybe 2 years. It's pretty unbelievable. And when you move Alocasias and they go from place to place, they tend to catch a little bit of a fit.
Yeah. Does it ever go dormant on you at all? I think
it did.
Okay.
Well, it didn't lose its leaves. It just stopped growing.
Yeah.
And then we had like a little spider mite damage come along.
See, and that to me, when I think about both colocasias and alocasias, I think, spider mite. Like they're eventually going to get a spider mite.
Oh yeah, I think we've had spider mites on this at least a dozen times.
Yeah. So what do you do?
I have a very different approach from most people. I'm very hands off with my pests, and the reason why is because I really want my plants to be as strong as possible. So my first defense is just really aggressively fertilizing my plants. So my plants get, they get their basic fertilizer, but they also get CalMag, they get silica, and those things make the plants a little bit more resilient to plants. So, she's had spider mites, but she's been able to live and grow in spite of. And then I just rinse with water. So I don't really use many insecticides. I kind of just rinse them off and just keep rinsing them off.
Now, how do you rinse them off? You said you have to take, you don't really take them away, but.
No, I have a sprayer.
This is a wood floor.
I know. I have a sprayer that I'll just like lightly mist.
Okay.
And then I have some mittens that I'll just like, after I lightly mist, I'll go and wipe the leaves down as best I can. When they lived outside, I'll just go to town with the hose, but I don't like to use pesticides because I do have 2 small children.
Of course, yeah.
So I don't want to use anything that they're going to get their hands into. My daughter is just as into plants as I am. So, and she has a tendency of like, if I cut off a leaf, she'll just walk around with it or something. And she has very sensitive skin. So we had one episode where she had gotten some rashes, I think from something that I used. So since then, I just use water, maybe, some neem oil, which isn't harsh on skin, but otherwise nothing too toxic. Everyone has to fend for themselves. My McDowell has had spider mites. This guy has had thrips before, but there's no such thing as a perfect plant.
Yeah, and of course, if you ever seen them in the wild, they're all tattered and badly beaten by wind. So these are almost, considered immaculate. Now, this isn't an Adansonii?
This is a Monstera
Premnoides or something.
Yes. So that's what this is.
Beautiful fenestrations on that.
Thank you. This guy almost died due to scale. Scale is a pest I had never dealt with before.
That's a tough one, especially the little brown scale.
That's exactly what it had. Yeah. And I just took some tape.
Oh, you did?
And yeah, I did the tape thing, and I just
just stick if you're getting off cat hair.
Yeah, you can kind of see a dead one, here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, what? I've never dealt with scale, but it survived. Most of them I don't think I've lost a plant to pests before.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think I have. At least it's probably been years since that's happened, because I'm pretty on top of wiping their leaves. I'm on top of rinsing them. So I'm with them all the time. So
do you have a specific routine? In your house, is it every part of the day or every weekend or?
It's part of my everyday routine.
Everyday routine.
So every day I wake up, when I'm working from home, I just do a thorough inspection. I don't allow ugly leaves. So if a leaf is starting to yellow, I usually cut it off because almost immediately. And the reason why is because I've had experiences where there would be pests on that yellowing leaf. So with my Hoyas, I've had, I'd see a bottom leaf that's yellow and it'll be full of mealies underneath.
Okay, so then you're a bit more proactive.
I'm very proactive. Yeah. So I try to cut off yellowing leaves. I don't mind crisp. That's not anything serious. Every day I'm pruning, I'm rinsing, I'm wiping, no one's on a watering schedule, so everyone gets watered at different times.
So whenever they feel like they need it.
Whenever they feel like they need it, I usually just try to bend a stem.
But here's the irrigation back in here again. Now I noticed also you're using some really chunky perlite, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So tell me about your potting mixtures.
My potting mix, yes. So I have the same uniform potting mix for all of my aeroids, which is just super size 3 perlite, orchid mix, and then I use some Fox Farm soil, and I just mix those 3 things. And also, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but mycorrhizae fungi.
Oh, mycorrhizae.
Mycorrhizae fungi, yes. So I put that, and that's pretty much my mix for everyone. Even when I get I like to import plants. So if I import some plants from Ecuador and they come without roots, I usually put them right into my mix.
Okay.
And water them, and typically...
Well, you don't have to bring up the humidity, because the humidity's already up in the house.
It's already up there, yeah. So this right here is a fresh import. This I've only had maybe for a month. It came with 0 roots. And, she's already got some roots going on. You can see through the clear pot.
Now, how much has that grown since you had, because it has some pretty sizable leaves on it.
Yeah, so this guy I actually imported. this big, and it didn't lose any leaves during import,
That's good.
which is pretty awesome.
Which one is this now?
This is a Chardonnay.
Oh, a Chardonnay.
Which is the same as this one, which
Yeah.
I've had for a couple years. I'll tell you the story behind this one. And the reason why I got this one is because I love this one, and I love Chardonnay. So this one here, I got this from Brooklyn Plant Shop, and it cost a lot of money back then. But when I moved to Houston, I tried to grow outdoors, and everyone told me your plants will grow so great outdoors. What they didn't tell me is that it's 100 degrees every day.
Yeah.
And the sun is very hot, and I wound up losing a ton of plants to the heat. And this Chardonnay completely melted in like 3 days, down to 0 leaves. And I was like, I paid way too much money for this plant for me to give it up. And it was just a stump. So this was a stump in the summer of 2023. And it has since grown. So these are all part of the same plant.
Do you think if it was like a real cheapo, do you think you would have had the same type of?
No.
You would have been like, yeah, forget
I would
it.
have just tossed it.
Okay, yeah. But because you invested in it.
I invested
Yeah.
this, I hardly buy plants in the 3-digit range. So when that happens, I have to stick with it. And this
Right.
was one of those plants that I had to stick with. It was down to nothing. And it has since grown. It's really a monstrosity. You can't tell because it's already, bundled in. But it's very, very large. It's actually going to put out a new leaf very soon.
I like how ribby it is.
I love
Yeah,
that.
the
It kind of
ribs.
reminds you of the king anthurium.
Yeah.
But it's not, because I don't have any anthuriums. I'm not good with them. So this gives me anthurium vibes. I get to fake like I have anthuriums, but no, it's a philodendron.
Why do you think the anthuriums and you don't mix?
I still don't know.
Yeah.
I think maybe I don't know. I'm sure it's not the humidity because it's very humid in here. I don't know. So I think maybe I need to water them more often because these guys don't get watered that often.
You could pass this off as a crystallinum. It's a gloriosum, but it's right?
This is another one of my faves. This is my gloriosum. I've had this guy since, I don't know, maybe 2021,
It's
2022.
so sparkly. Look how sparkly it is. In this
It's a stunner.
sun.
Also not in a crawler pot. It's in a round pot, and it's almost completely out of the pot. So like you'll have to go in this corner, but I mean you can take the camera, but it's completely grown out of the pot here. So this is this is
Crawling.
yeah.
And that's what they usually do. You see them in botanic gardens.
Yeah.
And they crawl. Like as she was sharing, a lot of these are crawler.
Yes,
ones.
and I let them do their thing,
Yeah.
you know. This is my maximum, which probably the biggest leaf plant I
Yeah.
have. This guy, I went to a plant show and I said, I'm not buying any plants.
And you walked out with the big one.
The biggest plant available at the plant show is what I left with. So
It's really nice that your ceiling is what, an 8-foot high ceiling or
Yeah.
9 foot high, and oftentimes if you see these in botanic gardens, they're grown so far up, but you could really feel the leaves and see the leaves here. Like this
Yeah.
almost looks like a fingerprint.
right.
The texture of
yes,
the leaf.
yes. So I try to give botanic garden vibes. That's
Yeah.
actually my inspo, to keep everything clustered together. I don't like to leave plants standing alone. And I really feel like they're a family. They communicate with each other, because I'll notice like leaves wouldn't grow, necessarily behind another leaf. They'd usually like try to find an open spot. This was just recently reconfigured for you guys to come here.
Right on.
But typically you'll see the leaves growing in whatever empty space they can find. They don't hog each other up.
Well, it would be kind of interesting to see if there's ones that don't require. I mean, a lot of these are probably going to be reaching to the light.
Yeah.
But if you went cross species into
Yeah.
something else that wanted to be a bit more understory,
Yes.
you could probably pull that off because
Right.
they'd be basically shaded under the lights with these
Exactly.
massive
And,
leaves.
I actually do think about that with my plants. I do have some plants like this Philodendron SP Columbia. So this guy doesn't like bright light. He's been burned a couple times by this grow light, but this guy has to be in shade. So that's why it's so low. And all of my plants are they're ordered in, they're placed by light. So like my gloriosum doesn't love the bright light. So it stays down low. It's,
In the corner,
it's
like
down
towards
in
the
the
corner.
corner.
Yeah.
So I try to think about light requirements when I'm placing things, and also the shapes of the leaves and, who doesn't mind being blocked off? You have like your velvety leaves, like this El Chaco. Doesn't love bright light because it will get burned. So, you know, he's tucked behind the McDowell.
It's so funny too. It's like you also want to consider which one would you not mind your husband tapping if he like throws his chair
Yes,
back really
that's
quickly.
why I have the corner there. Yeah. So the corner there is like my, I don't want to say they're my less loved plants.
Yeah.
But they're plants I don't mind getting a little damage. You know, they're pretty resilient here. So I have like this Jose Bueno here. Jose Buenos are very easy growers. So it's okay if he dings it because it, you know, it grows pretty quickly. I have a rugosum aberrant form there. I have three of
that's
them.
really weird.
Yeah.
It's kind of got like, like the leaves are crinkled.
Crinkled, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a slow grower, but I have three of them. So
Oh yeah.
so it's okay. I have a
could
rehab
spare.
outside, and I have a small one there in the window. So it's okay if he messes these up.
What's this funky trifoliate kind of looking one?
I have no idea. So
It's really interesting.
so I imported this one, and then I lost the
It looks
receipt.
cartoonish to me for whatever reason, the
I
way
kn-
that it's shaped.
And then the leaf comes out very small. It has like an anthurium kind of behavior growing because it comes out with a small leaf, and then it grows to this pretty large leaf.
Yeah.
You know, but I have no idea what it is. I tried looking back at my emails to see if maybe I can.
Any aroid fans?
Yeah. What is
What
this?
do you think this is?
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments below.
I would love that. Yes. Then this Palmanii. So this Palmanii.
I would have missed that one. It's
Yeah.
just kind of tucked away back
This
there.
is another one that loves shade. And I bought this guy as a huge, I'm talking about a gigantic 16-inch pot. The entire thing died, including this. So this was just a stump that I had left it in this pot. So this is the one of the few in a crawler pot.
Yep.
I left it behind my door and wait for me to throw it out, and I never threw it out. And then one day I looked at it, maybe 2 months later, and it had a leaf. And I was like, holy crap. You know, you haven't been watered in months.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's earned her keep.
Like, this is my last hurrah.
Yes. So this was a big mama plant that has since totally died back, but you can see that it's growing
Look
back.
how lovely. It looks like it's almost like watercolored, or that you had it painted and then you scraped off some of the paint below.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love these petioles. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing about Palmanii. I've had a few and I've killed them all. They're very difficult.
Yeah.
At least for me. And then we can go over to this little corner
and
here.
over in this corner.
Yeah. So yeah, you can climb right over the
Don't let him know. He's just floating. He's just floating.
So this was just one plant in this corner just a few months ago, and that was this Monstera dubia.
Oh, beautiful velvety
Yeah,
leaves, right?
gorgeous velvety leaves.
Wow, look at that. So beautiful.
Yeah,
Because when
and
it starts out, it looks nothing like
it
that.
looks nothing like
Yeah.
this. And I had a beautiful mature Monstera dubia that grew probably past the ceiling, and I had
Yeah.
to leave it in Houston because it couldn't fit in my truck.
Oh, yeah.
So I have a friend out there who's
Oh, God,
growing
you
it
had to
out.
drive all the way? Oh, yeah, because how else are you going to do it? You can't-
Movers
yeah.
are not going to take them, and
Yeah.
they had to be here in a day or two.
Wow.
So my mom drove them 28 hours to get here. So they're last one's on the truck, first one's out of the truck.
Wow.
But yeah, this was a replacement to my beautiful dubia that I had to give to a friend. This is also, I got this from Houston. This is a philodendron sororoi, which started out as the very bottom leaf down there. You probably won't be able to see it. You can see like it has a husk. So that was how big it was when I first got it last year, and it has since grown here. But I am going to chop it and prop it. It's one of the few I'm probably going to chop and
this
prop.
is also a great advertisement for moss poles.
Yes.
Because, a lot of times, like, my plants will stay small in a space, and then you're just showing that, like, with the moss pole,
They're going to...
it's going to climb and it's going to get big.
Yes.
Especially if you give it all that right loving that you're
and you'll see the irrigation
explicating.
system here
And you
again.
can water it really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just turn on my irrigation system and it works out.
It's funny. It's kind of like those like hospital tubes
I-
when you need your electrolytes.
Yeah.
Do you put any fertilizer through there at all?
Yes. So
Okay.
I put the same fertilizer that I feed the plants, which is a fish fertilizer. And, you know, I leave it on for maybe half an hour. Sometimes I forget and then it spills over. But, you know, the plants are growing really well with this. I mean, this Monstera Burl Marked Flame, everyone claims these are very slow. But I think as long as you keep up with this moss pole, it's going to grow pretty fast. So
The fenestration is so bizarre on this, isn't it?
yes. You can see it's working on a new leaf.
The thing is, it's like it's still connected by like a little
Hair, yes. Yes, and these take a while to mature. But I got this, you know, just with these lower leaves back in March or something, you know, and because they've recently got super affordable.
This almost looks like an anthurium leaf, like you know, if you didn't see this.
Yes,
you know,
it gives me, I don't know, Delta Force vibes.
Yeah, a little bit with the triangle.
Yeah,
yeah.
I love how thick the leaves are.
It is very
too.
thick, which to me tells me that it's actually going to be a pretty resilient plant.
Right. Yes.
I would say it's not like flimsy.
Yeah, I don't like flimsy.
Yeah. Now, is this a varicosum or is it a hybrid with like Milano or something?
Yeah. So this is a splendid, which is a hybrid of the varicosum and Melanochrysum.
Okay, yeah.
It's a much
Because it has qualities of both. I was like, yeah.
Yes, it's much easier than both of its parents.
Yeah.
So I have one of its parents.
Hybrid
and
vigor.
Yeah, I could never grow a Melanochrysum successfully. Same with varicosum, but I can grow a splendid. So, so this guy has grown pretty nicely this year. And I love these velvety leaves. They're pretty fast growers. Very low maintenance, which I love. And then I have my one high maintenance diva. It's my silver band Maranta.
Yep.
And this guy I got as a rehab, and it has since blown up.
Yeah, I don't say it doesn't look high maintenance here.
No.
It looks like it's just really loving life, you know?
Really loving life, and I think it's the heat.
Yeah.
You know, in the wintertime, it looks like crap.
It also, I noticed your light is further away here too.
Yes.
Which, you know, it might not be, there's no threat of burning leaves on this section. At least yet.
At least not yet. Yeah.
Give her 2 weeks.
At least not yet. And then I also have it on the wide, so it's less intense.
Yeah.
This can be adjusted to be more narrow, and that would probably damage something here. But these are pretty strong lights. And this is a Philodendron Mayoi. I got this also. These are the original leaves I purchased it with.
Ooh,
just
nice.
these last 2 leaves.
Yeah.
And all of this has grown in a year, which I love. I think as soon as I put it on the moss pole and got it started on the irrigation system, that's when my plants really started taking off.
That's really good to know.
Yeah.
So with your irrigation, do you have a drip feed or does it just flush it and then off?
Oh, no, it's a drip feed. So
Okay.
it's very slow. I mean, I have my 5-gallon tank is under here. It's very...
Oh, that's kind of
Yeah.
clever. You know,
Yeah,
that's your,
so I
like a
have
little,
it-
you could put your drink on there
Yeah.
and then there's a drink below.
So it's very discreet.
Drink for the human, drink for the plants.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
it-
another question. Like, you grow these plants in your apartment, but there's a lot of things like the water tank that you require for this setup. Like, how do you store all that? And
Oh man, the
Yeah.
storage is a big deal. So
Yeah.
I have
Soil and
this
stuff.
looks like just a regular, you know, TV curio.
Yeah.
It's actually
Oh, they think,
bunch of plants.
she's like, I don't read books. I don't have records. I have fertilizer.
Yes, so all of my plant supplies are hidden
Uh-huh.
in here. And then I have this is my personal closet, but I have my dirt in my personal closet. I have my moss here in this bin underneath here. So I have to be very, you know, innovative about
Yeah.
how I store my supplies. Because I used to
Right.
have a whole closet.
Right. And you had a whole room.
I
and
had a
stuff
whole
like
room. So I have to be very intentional. Like I can't
Yeah.
keep a bunch of pots.
That. Right.
I can't keep an endless supply of soil. I kind of have to get everything on an as-needed basis, which could be hard because sometimes it's hard to find what I need as soon as if I get a fresh set of imports and I realize, oh shoot, I'm out of perlite.
Right.
Now those imports have to sit for an extra couple days after they just.
You have to time it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so everything-
and have it on set and on. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my redemption plant. So this is a Philodendron polypoidioides. So this, I had one
Which
of
is
the...
tortum-esque. I see that
It's
you put them
tortum-esque, yes.
put them next to each other.
I had one of these years ago and it grew so big, and then one day I tried a different fertilizer and it died. like
really?
almost instantly.
Oh my goodness. I
Like-
wonder if that fertilizer had like something in it, like almost too much salts or something, you know.
You know,
bad
it happened
batch.
so fast. I
Yeah.
mean, literally the next day I was seeing leaves fall off.
Ooh.
And these are very difficult to find. And I was able to find a friend locally who was selling 3 cuttings. So I'm like, 3 cuttings for 3 chances.
So are they all in there? Did you buy the
They're all
three
in here,
cuttings?
yes,
Okay.
and they're all rooted in moss and perlite. And
The perlite looks like little marshmallows that you'd put in your hot chocolate.
yeah,
doesn't it?
I'm really afraid to repot it, but you can see it.
Yeah,
has,
the roots are coming. Yeah, the roots are coming.
I'm very scared to put it in soil.
So you have this in a double cup, and
Yes.
you have holes on the
Throughout,
sides.
yes.
Okay, so then
So this is to encourage humidity to the root ball.
Nice.
And that's just like an extra security blanket that I do.
so many great little tips. Look
Yeah.
at this. So many great little tips for those of you, because a
Yes.
lot of these plants you can't grow with roots, or that you don't get them with roots. Like a lot of
Yes.
times the growers will sell them for extraordinary amounts of money at times. And they're like, get this without a root. And if you're not set up in the system for that, then
No.
you know you're probably going to have wasted your money. So
Right, exactly. So this is another recent purchase. This was, I just had my baby a month ago. This was my push gift to myself. This is a variegated.
Bietier?
Yes,
Wow.
variegated
Yeah, and it's a
for the-
yellow variegation too.
Yes. So this guy, I've wanted one of these for years. I don't know if you remember, they were astronomical
Well,
in price.
I remember the first one that I saw was at my friend's place in Thailand, and he had a big one kind of growing on the outdoor
Oh my
wall. And I
God.
didn't even know those existed before. And I think after that, I was like, I think people are like, where can I get that?
I know. Yeah, they were so expensive, way over my budget. And then
I think a lot of these went into tissue culture, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I had a friend, I was up at 3 a.m. with my baby, and my friend posts, I'm selling my variegated Bietier for like this really cheap price because I have a family emergency, and I just like, I want it now.
Yeah.
So I wound up buying it for much less than I probably would have paid even today.
Yeah.
Just because of that situation. I'm so happy to finally have one, but I didn't find out till I got it that it's actually a pretty fresh import. So it's not a tissue culture. It is a chop from an imported plant.
Now, it looks like there's one without variegation. Is
Yes,
that right?
so this is the most recent leaf, and
Yeah.
it does not have variegation.
Now, would you cut that off, or would you keep it?
So this one I kept. It did have 2 other leaves that were not variegated. I only kept this one because it's the most recent leaf. But I think the issue was with her, she was growing it in very low natural light, and that also has an impact on your variegation. And then if we took a closer look, I can't take it down without
Yeah,
taking
you
out
know, everything else.
But if we take a closer look, 1/2 of the stem doesn't have variegation, and
Yes,
1/2 does. And so the leaves coming out of that non-variegated side are coming out fully green.
Some because different schools of thoughts. Like some people would leave the non-variegated leaf so that it actually supercharges the rest of the half of it, and then others would say, no, I only want all variegation
variegated.
and would cut it off.
Yeah.
So that's why I had been asking, because there, different philosophies for different folks. I might actually leave 1 or 2 just so that the rest of them could get.
Just to give it some energy, But there were 2 or 3 more that I did cut off, but I felt like this was an important
You
one.
have this really thin one back here. Oh, it has a. Which one is this one?
Oh, this is a philodendron. I'm not going to pronounce it right, but I think it's longibatum or longibotum. But this guy, this is one of its more mature leaves.
Looks so different, doesn't it? Wow.
Yeah, so this, I got it with these thin leaves, and then, bright light and lots of fertilizer. It has since grown these huge leaves. You can see the comparison is kind of very different. Yeah. Yep, and this is a albo here. Everyone's prized plant is the albo.
So I'm curious, which ones are you dying to get? If you had to pick like 1 or 2 more, it could be a Hoya, it could be whatever.
So
Are there ones that you have your eyes on?
I feel like the Bietier was that person for me,
Yeah.
that plant for me, and I finally got it.
I like that she said that person.
Oh my! I have a very close relationship with my plants, so I
Yeah.
consider them people.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't really have a wish list at this point.
Okay, good. Well,
but
then that means you might be satisfied at this point.
I don't think so. Then I'll just see a plant and I'll be like, oh, I love the texture of that leaf, or I love the size of it.
Yeah, there's something that calls to you. I like that red bottom. I get, that velveteen look.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's usually the specimen that gets me. It's, the veining. It's been a while since I've had like a wish list plant other than the variegated Bietier. And some of these plants I've never even heard of before I bought them. It would just be, it's calling to me.
I totally get that.
Like this UPI is a plant, before I bought it, I hadn't heard of it before, but, I saw these huge, interesting leaves, and I figure, why not? Another one is this Equigenera maximum. This isn't a common one. It's a new hybrid from Ecuador. And this is a hybrid of the Philodendron maximum that we saw back there.
And do they know what they hybridized it with, or was it kind of just...
the parent is unknown.
Yeah.
But the leaves don't get...
It's a bastard philodendron.
Yes. The leaves don't get as big, but this guy is much thirstier than your average philodendron. Like, you kind of have to water it almost weekly, or these leaves would just like... look pretty... look really sad, but... Yeah, I mean, it's climbing really fast, so I don't know how much longer it's going to be able to live up here.
Yeah.
But we'll cross that bridge when it gets here. That's how I am with all my plants. We will just cross the bridge when it gets here. This is my mini alocasia section. So other than the Zebrina, these are the only alocasias that I have other than the variegated Friday out there. Right? Yeah, this one is a El Chaco.
And then this one.
And this is a Philodendron serpens here. And then I got a...
These are tough. These are tough.
Oh my God, are they?
I don't know. Did you just get it? Those are always tough for me.
It's terrible. Yeah. I had one years ago that grew really well and then died as soon as I moved. So this was my redemption plan, and we're not doing so well right now. But I do have a little leaf coming in, so I have some hope. Yeah. And this is a Monstera white monster.
Ooh, that is very white.
Yeah, these have just gone into tissue culture, much cheaper than they used to be. And then the caramel marble. These are sort of my mini philos living here. But for the most part, I have like these jewel alocasia here.
Yeah, they're so pretty though. Like, right, the texture. Look at this leaf. It kind of got a
little, it decided to turn into a cup. Yeah. All of these, I have them living in the original growers mix. And most people are like, how do you grow alocasia so pretty in soil indoors? And I don't know. I don't dig for corms. I don't repot them most of the time unless I,
Do you ever get scale on these?
I've never got scale magnet. I've gotten mealybugs on these, and I've obviously spider mites. That's the main pest. But these guys have been really easygoing for me, and that surprises me because I was not great with alocasia other than the Zebrina. That's my token alocasia, and then the variegated Frydek here, which has spider mites, you can see.
Yeah, they always tend to spot it up a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what?
You're so brave that you have these, because when I ever have a spider mite plant, I'm like, you're over there, you quarantine it, but you're just like, you're sick, but you stay here.
You stay here. I don't quarantine my plants ever, and I that's probably because I don't have space to quarantine.
Right.
Because I don't have space, but also because I just believe that, this is a community of plants. It sounds pretty crazy to say, but I really do feel like they help each other in a way. So like, had this variegated Frydek been standing on its own, I feel like it would have died a long time ago, but I feel like its friends kind of encourage it and maybe take some of its spider bites.
Take some of these away from me.
Take some of the weight off.
And I hear that before you said you fertilize it to the max. You really try to give it a lot of micro and macronutrients to try to bite through it.
Yes, internally first, exactly. So that I feel is the major key. You can see I got a little creative with
hanging baskets.
I hung this guy I got from Home Depot, and this guy I got from a friend who had outgrew her space. Yeah. And I got them 2 days apart. This one first, and then my friend had it. And I'm like, I can't let you toss. She was going to toss it.
Oh, no.
I'm like, are you insane? No. So I had to rescue it, and I had no space. So here it is. Yeah. And I had to buy a light exclusively for this plant because if I had to move the track light to come
Right.
this way, it would be in my face.
And hopefully your partner did not understood that it's just on the edge. It's just on the edge of this.
He did ask about it, but you know something? So my partner has he used to have very bad vision.
Yeah.
So usually I would get a new plant and I would put it in the jungle and he would never notice it.
Of course.
So like the giant tie.
Did you see this new leaf that just got put out yesterday? Hopefully he never watches this video.
He never, a lot of these plants he never noticed came into the house.
Yeah.
Like I'll just integrate it into the jungle and he just sees green. So he doesn't know that there's a new plant there. So with this, it took him maybe 2 weeks to notice that this was here. He's like, why does it feel like the shelf is kind of,
moving
it feels
out
like there's
a little
more.
bit further.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, nothing. Oh my gosh. So
I just shifted it a little bit further to the side of
Two
that.
things he doesn't know. He doesn't know how many plants I have, and he doesn't know how much they cost.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is like $10.
They clearly still have separate bank accounts.
Yes. I'm like, this is $10. Well, he doesn't know that
Home Depot.
Yeah, when he thinks Home Depot, he thinks, $5, $10.
Yeah.
But when you're going to Home Depot every day,
Yeah.
like I do, then it adds up. But yeah, I try to get my packages scheduled for when he's not home.
Got it.
And so I try to
sneaky.
I know. I have a few videos of me getting.
I see people now taking notes, not just like on plant care. They're like
hiding,
deliver plants when husband is not home.
You should start scaling down the TV.
Yeah.
Just buy like a TV that's a couple inches smaller. And just do that slowly
And
over
he'll
time.
just be like, what's going on with the TV? He won't notice for months. I'm telling you.
Growing older and the TV just seems smaller.
Yeah, it's really fun. And I'll have videos of me like running and hiding boxes and trying to get them out on recycle day. That's the one perk about living in an apartment.
That's what she means, that she has a lot of dirt in her closet. Yeah. We know what the dirt is.
He never knows they're mine. But I'm like, no, we have 2 other neighbors. That's their boxes. Yeah. But most of the time, it's my boxes downstairs that are full of plants. But I think you guys are here at a perfect time because I think my jungle has officially maxed out.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, good. All right, so we hit the pinnacle. And, I thank you for showing this. This is really impressive. I think people will really gravitate towards this because you said you lived in a basement before. You really fine-tuned it to understand how to grow under lights. Mm-hmm. And you don't have a lot of light coming in from these windows. I mean, you don't even have plants in that window probably because it's your husband's window, but like your partner's window. But there's a big school blocking this. So you're not getting that much light. This is really impressive.
Thank you.
And you've contained it in a way that is like still very acceptable, I would say, in a house.
Yeah, it's not overwhelming, and I want it to go with my decoration because I buy plants to look at them. Yeah, I don't really buy them for it to look like a laboratory. Yeah, and so that for me, this is the inspiration: is that anyone can have a jungle. No matter what your light looks like, you can kind of set it up so that it looks like part of your space. And I wouldn't even know what to do with that corner if not for the plants.
Right.
That's
what she says to herself.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. It would just be a big empty space. Or even this corner here where it would, it was blank and it looked very bland. And now it looks like a nice micro jungle. Except I don't know where I'm putting my Christmas tree this year because that's where it was last year.
Those hanging lights on those plants would look just fine.
I think I'll have to do that. Yeah, I think I'll just have to use all my ornaments, all my plants.
Who said you have to do a conifer?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is my life.
Awesome.
I'm never going to not have plants, and if we move from here, I will move every single plant. Yeah, I'm not going to downsize.
Well, thank you, Liz. This is just really remarkable, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome. What do you think of all of Liz's helpful tips for growing under lights? Let us know in the comments below. Now, we're planning our next group botanical tours to Costa Rica, Japan, and Thailand in 2026 and beyond. So sign up for updates on our newsletter and on our website at homesteadbrooklyn.com. Just click on the Learn tab and head over to Botanical Tours or check out our description below. And don't forget, we also have online houseplant courses like Houseplant Basics, to the Houseplant Masterclass. All can be found at homesteadbrooklyn.com and houseplantmasterclass.com. See you in the next video.